Where'd you get that scar?
Bishop, some men you just can't teach.
We was looking for a dwarf with a scar like that a while back.
Oh boy.
Perhaps there's some arrangement?
Fuck some gold, bro. Beat the shit out of them with the hammer.
You going to arrange
Yeah,
to pay us
like
more
this.
than Queen's service?
Oh! Just like that. Oh!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Cam. This is Zay, and we are here watching Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 5, Eastwatch. I'm super excited to get into this one, but before we do, okay, if you like movies, you have got to check this out. This is a really cool piece of movie art that gives you the essence of your favorite movie in your home. It's called Movie Palette. Movie Palette is a special form of art, and here's how it works.
By analyzing and identifying the dominant colors corresponding with each individual scene of your favorite movie, artists specialized in the digital world are able to craft a beautiful piece of artwork that encapsulates your cherished film as a whole. The colors are laid out in chronological order from left to right, with varying sizes corresponding to the time on screen.
Yes, that's right. They take your favorite movies and transform them into amazing art. Movies speak to us. We connect with the characters, we follow along with the plot, and we soak in the script as if we were living it.
Now imagine getting to take all those feelings of entertainment like no other and putting them on a canvas to engage with, to speak to you, and to admire in your home.
I got a movie palette of one of my top favorite movies of all time, Avatar. Whenever I see it, I remember scenes from the movie as if they were playing in front of my eyes, and that's what it can do for you. It can say, remember that action scene? Remember that love scene? Remember the laughter, the array of emotions you had during this movie?
Or maybe you just want one that works best for your home. With Movie Palette's wide collection to choose from and the ability to create custom palettes, the opportunities are endless. Personally, I'm still browsing for one that works best for me, and I can't wait to get my hands on one.
And don't forget to use the coupon code Cam&Zay15 at checkout. That's CAMANDZAY15 to get 15% off.
And guys, by supporting Movie Palette, you're supporting us as well. So don't miss out on this incredible piece of artwork and get yourself a Movie Palette today.
If you guys like what you're watching, make sure you leave a like down below. It really does help with the algorithm, helps get our video more out there, help more people see it. And if you're not already subscribed and you enjoy what you're watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And also, if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this in the next 6 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description. Zay, what do you remember previously?
Yeah, so we got to see Dany swoop in on Drogon and light Jaime and Bronn up. Pretty much destroyed their whole platoon out. But we also got to see this the Scorpion, as Cam actually told me. The name of the weapon is a Scorpion. They got to use it on Drogon.
Yeah, I think they might have mentioned it before the name of it, so I decided to just let him know. But if they didn't, sorry guys. It's just the name of the weapon. It's not like a plot spoiler or anything. But he knows it's called the Scorpion. I think they already mentioned it. But all right,
that thing did some damage to Drogon. We saw him pretty much free falling for a moment. It looked like he wasn't going to recover. Jaime was going to swoop in and try to take out Dany while she was trying to remove the like giant, arrow, spear, bolt. Yeah, bolt would be a better term for it. Drogon was about to light his ass up, and Bronn saved him. So we watched them sink to the bottom, or sink to the, start to sink to the bottom. We don't know what happened with them. It cut right there. Arya returned to Winterfell. We got to see her interact, with Sansa and Bran. That
he gave her that dagger.
Yeah, Bran gave her the dagger. The dagger that was almost used to assassinate Bran, and questionable. Sansa started to question it because she's like, Baelish doesn't just give people stuff without expecting something in return. And Baelish came to as Arya was training with Brienne after watching Podrick. Baelish was there watching. It was interesting. He kept looking at Sansa, watching Arya's interaction with Brienne. It was very interesting. Like, he was analyzing a lot. Cersei spoke with the Iron Bank, told them that, they're going to have their payment in full in one fell swoop. And the bank was like, well, would you like to make another one? Is there any other bench? Is there any other benches we can help on?
Yeah.
And then, Jon and Dany found a shit ton of Dragonstone. So I was wrong. I thought they weren't going to find
Dragonglass at
Dragonglass at Dragonstone. But they also found something interesting. Well, Jon did. he found carvings from the children, and it showed White Walkers, and it showed the children and the First Men fighting together. And Dany said, "I'll help you. I'll help you fight." So it's ramping up, man. It's exciting, and I can't believe we're literally past halfway. Oh, wait, what was the caveat?
He has to bend the knee.
Yeah, he has to bend the knee. So will he bend the knee, I guess, is the question. I would, I guess, at this point. Like, I mean, she's willing to do it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but last time Jon, did something his men weren't fond of, they killed him.
He ended up.
So, I don't know.
He has to have someone to bring him back. So I guess we'll see what goes down.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, let's get into the episode. It's titled Eastwatch. Do you remember what Eastwatch is?
That is the furthest most castle at the wall, right?
Yeah, right on the water.
Yep.
So we'll have to see what happens in this episode. Here we go.
And then he's gasping and grunting.
Bronn got him the fuck out of there.
Oh. That's one thing I never want to experience is like that type of like drowning, like near death drowning. Good God.
I had people waterboard me once. It was not a pleasant experience.
I know. Oh, I know.
Were you there?
Yes.
No. It was that was a long time ago.
She decides
she
to
does
use
have
them,
two
to
more.
really use them.
You're fucked.
What do you mean we're fucked?
No, I do not.
Yeah, and he was willing to kill Dany too.
Yeah.
He didn't care what was going to happen to him.
I'm not going to be around when those things start spitting fire on King's Landing.
Oh, they're gonna rap? That's
I have
dope.
to tell Cersei.
May as well jump back in that river.
This will be interesting.
Oh my God, it's just ashes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's tough for Tyrion too. It's like, you don't want you don't. Oh my God, how big!
We've seen how big he is. It's just a great shot.
Boy, look how big that boy is.
Gosh. It does make him look really big too, though, putting him on the mountain like that in front of all the people.
Bend the knee and join me. Together, we will leave the world a better place than we found it. Or refuse. And die.
Kind of a lot like Aegon. He said, bend the knee and, be a part of our dynasty.
Damn, y'all got some balls. Drogon? Eat. What's...
Yeah.
Nah, he said, sit the fuck down.
You will not trade your honor for your life. I respect that.
This war has already wiped one great house from the world. Don't let it happen again. Bend the knee.
Tyrion's like, come on.
Sir, even his dad's like, dude,
yeah.
Don't be, like, it's not worth it. Your pride.
I will not.
Wow, I respect it, though.
Made his dad happy.
I, Daenerys of House Targaryen, first of my name, breaker of chains and mother of dragons, sentence you to die.
They made their decision.
I respect it.
Dracarys.
That is definitely one way to do that. Oh my gosh.
I just feel like you die so much fast. Like, like burning to death, like, I would never want to burn to death, but I feel like a dragon burns you so quick that it might just, like, it hurts for, like, at least just, like, that.
I mean, they're fucking dusted.
Yeah, literally just disintegrated. The rest of these people bent the knee, they're like, fuck that. They're like, I'm not facing that fate.
Maybe we can count on Tyrion to intercede on our behalf, by way of apology for murdering our father and son.
Oh, bring it up.
He didn't.
You saw the crossbow, you saw his body.
I'm not talking about father.
Hey,
Tyrion didn't kill
waiting for
Joffrey. He
this.
had nothing to do with it.
After all this time, it still amazes me.
It was
that you-
Olenna.
Dropped it.
If you were Olenna, would you rather have seen your granddaughter married to Joffrey or Tommen?
Yeah, fair point.
She should have died screaming.
She's dead. Like her son, her grandchildren, her whole house. And if we don't find a way out of this war, We'll follow them.
So we fight and die, or we submit and die. I know my choice. A soldier should know his.
Oh my God, she's...
It's rough because Jamie is trying to be like, Jamie is like, look, what I was fighting for us at the beginning, but
Right.
she's got fucking 3 dragons in Dothraki. Like,
Yeah. I'd be shitting my britches. Be like, get this oversized iguana away from me.
wow.
Okay.
Drogon said, I like you.
He's like, this man right here, this is a man's man.
My God.
That's so cool, bro.
I
He was
couldn't
like-
even imagine the feeling. I couldn't even imagine the feeling.
You could see like like his eyes go from like super like aggressive to almost like kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
But still fucking terrifying because it's
Yeah.
dragon. Like,
Hey!
let's go. Yes.
You found a cure?
I wouldn't be here if I hadn't. I return to your service, my queen. If you'll have me.
John doesn't even know Sam did it.
It would be my
I was
honor.
just gonna say, tell him who did it though. John would have been like, my boy. Let's go. I'm sending a Raven right now. I'm sending a Raven that man. Dany and John would be a crazy couple. That'd be a savage couple.
Pretty powerhouse couple.
I'd love it. I'd love it. Brain is working. Okay.
Taking That's So Raven to a whole nother level. Dude, that has layers and layers on that joke.
I live in perpetual pain listening to his jokes. Oh my God.
Sheesh.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Ravens. We need to send ravens.
It's something about the way the Night King like looks, his design so like fucking terrifying.
A crippled boy claims to have seen dead men on the march beyond the wall, thanks to the magical help of a raven with 3 eyes.
Yes, it is a bit much. Still, we ought to...
Brandon Stark.
Let him know, Sam. Let him know.
And if you tell every maester in the Citadel to search every word of every faded scroll about the Long Night, they may find something that lets us defeat the army of the dead for good.
Yeah. Talk your talk, Sam.
It's also possible that this message is part of a ploy by the Dragon Queen to lure southern armies away from the lands they are currently defending, to open those lands
Lord.
to easy conquest.
Jesus, you old bastard.
Is he the one whose father and brother were just burnt alive?
I'm afraid so.
Horrible business.
I haven't had the heart to tell him yet. He's a good lad.
I don't know how he's going to take that.
Yeah.
I thought Arya was dead. I thought Bran was dead.
Oh, this has to be has to be like heartwarming, but like fuck, they're so far.
The first white I ever saw was brought into Castle Black from beyond the wall. Bring one of these things
true.
down to King's Landing and show
Yeah.
her the truth. I came here knowing that you could have your men behead me or your dragons burn me alive. I put my trust in you, a stranger, because I knew it was the best chance for my people, for all our people.
Bars.
Now I'm asking you to trust in a stranger.
Oh man, I don't know
It's
how
our
to feel.
best chance.
Got a mix of emotions going on right now. So I'm like, John's a savage, George's a savage. I'm like, I feel bad for Dany because she's like, where's everyone going? Also, it feels like she's getting feelings for John after watching fucking Drogon, you know, basically say, Daddy? Papa?
I don't know if you should trust Davos to smuggle you in. I'm pretty sure the last guy we saw him smuggle away is still rowing a boat somewhere. I mean, we haven't checked in with Gendry since he was sent off on that boat, and he said he couldn't swim.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
You always liked nice things. Made you feel better than everyone.
Oh, what is this? What's happening? Sibling beef?
Glover has 500 men, Royce has 2,000. Offend them, and Jon loses his army.
Not if they lose their heads first.
Who's polar opposites how they treat shit.
And if Jon doesn't come back, you'll need their support. So you can work together to give you what you really want.
Oh, how can you even think such a horrible thing?
Wow.
You're thinking it right now.
This is insane.
But the thought just won't go away.
I have work to do.
That's crazy. This
Arya basically said, "You're loving this, aren't you?"
Yeah. You love. I mean, the first thing she said, she's like, "That fits you, doesn't it?" Lady Stark or whatever she said, like last episode, I think, or whatever.
She was like, "Uh-oh."
Ah, shit. Ah, shit.
Today might be the day I kill you by accident.
Oh, you won't be swinging it at me.
Daenerys will win this war. She is even willing to suspend the hostilities if Cersei agrees to certain terms.
You want Cersei to bend the knee, you can ask her yourself.
I don't.
Like, please.
Daenerys doesn't.
Yeah, right. Last thing I need to do is ask her that.
She has a more important request.
It's crazy, these two.
Yeah. Man, that was so tense.
Wasn't sure I'd find you.
He's safe!
Hey!
He made it!
Thought you might still be rowing.
Yeah.
I was floating in that water for 7
days.
years.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
7 years. 7 years. Like, it's just like.
You came to get me. You want me to come with you?
Well, I think you'll need to understand it.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He said, I don't give a damn.
Where'd you get that scar?
Bishop, some men you just can't teach.
We was looking for a dwarf with a scar like that a while back.
Oh boy.
Perhaps there's some arrangement?
Fuck some gold, bro. Beat the shit out of them with the hammer.
You're going to arrange to pay us
like
more
this.
than Queen Cersei.
Oh! Just like that. Oh! Oh, the way their faces got mushed.
The way he
Nice.
swung that sword was smooth. Or that hammer.
Boom. He said boom and then took it around the other side and said, come here.
Why are you here?
I met with Tyrion.
Oh, that's a bombshell to fucking. She's gonna shoot you with another scorpion.
Why would you want a truce now?
Because an army of dead men is marching on the Seven Kingdoms. Tyrion claims he'll have proof.
I don't know if Cersei buys
Are you going to
this.
punish him?
Tyrion.
Bronn.
What?
He set up a meeting without your knowledge or consent.
Oh, shut up. God, she's so.
You let it happen. Why?
I've come to believe that an accommodation with the Dragon Queen could be in our immediate interest. She has the numbers. If we want to beat her, we have to be clever. We have to fight her like Father would have.
She'll do her eyes.
Yeah.
We will defeat it. For ourselves, for our house. For this.
Jamie's like, you weren't out there.
Yeah, once again. Oh, she's saying she's.
Who will you say is the father?
You.
Oh, shit.
It's just like, I know
It's like
they're
that
not
might have.
literally related in real life, but every time I see these two kiss, I want to crawl up in a ball.
We're leaving today. The king's got a lot on his mind. I understand. He doesn't need to think about harbouring the bastard of a dead king.
You don't have to worry.
You're just Clovis. Your Grace. This is
Prince
cool.
Gendry, Your Grace.
He's
I'm
like,
Robert Baratheon's son.
fuck your
Bastard
plan.
Shit, he dropped it.
Yeah.
Let me come with you.
Don't be a fool. You're not a soldier.
No, but I'm a fighter. And he won't be needing a smith with a sword like that.
Dude, Gendry's been chomping at the bit.
It's like, I'm ready.
But if what you said is true about what's up there, I can't wait out this war.
Looks over her shoulder, sees the red woman. Ah!
Your grace, eh?
This poor guy, though, every time he comes back, there's another man in the picture. He's like, every time I come back, she has someone else next to her.
If I don't return, at least you won't have to deal with the king in the north anymore.
I've grown used to him.
I wish you good fortune in the wars to come, Your Grace.
That was a little spicy. That's all I'll say.
I know. I'm a little bit just a little sriracha spice in there.
It might go somewhere, it might not go anywhere, but it did get a little spicy for a second.
Shit, it got a little spicy for a moment.
What does annulment mean?
It's when a man sets aside his lawful wife.
Divorce.
Maynard says here that he issued an annulment for Prince Rhaegar and remarried him to someone else in a secret ceremony in Dawn. Is that a common thing in the South? Or is
These maesters. The secret to defeating the Night King's probably sitting on some dusty shelf somewhere, completely ignored. We can all become slavering, murderous imbeciles enthralled to evil incarnate as long as we can have access to the full records of High Septon Maynard's 15,782 shits.
Sam.
Gilly's like...
Steps.
She doesn't know, man, but like it was so funny.
Yo, he's fed the fuck up.
She's like, steps. Why? You didn't take 15,000 shits.
You fucking weirdo.
I never said it was 15. Holy shit, bro. His face after that. Just like he just started shaking. Oh.
Sam has a habit of showing up at places and stealing the good shit. But it's sad, you know.
Yeah.
He's had enough.
I don't blame him. He's so fed up. He's like, you know.
I'm tired of reading about the achievements of better men.
Good for him, though.
Yeah.
You're sure this is the only copy in Winterfell?
Yes, my lord.
What is that all about?
Good old under the bed spot. Oh, in the bed. Smarter. Motherfucker.
Do you recognize that?
No, I was trying to read it to get more context, but I could only see so many words. Just caught.
Okay, it looks like the sneakster might be sneaking the sneakster.
Sneakster. The sneak.
Who's really sneaking who?
This is the sneaker has become the sneaky.
Somebody get my fucking shoes up in here. Because we got a lot of sneakers.
Also, I don't know if ratings can go down, but her sneak just went from 100 to 50 because he caught her ass.
My scouts found them a mile south of the wall. Said they were on the way here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, hello.
They were headed to the north.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Our Lord told us that the Great War is coming.
Don't trust him. Don't trust any of them.
Yeah. Gendry's like, those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're a fucking Mormont. Like the last Lord Commander. He was my father. He hunted us like animals.
Oh my
He
god.
returned the favor, as I recall.
Kinda.
We may take the steps, but the Lord of Light.
For fuck's sake, will you shut your hole? Are we coming with you or not?
Then you want to know what we're doing? Is it worse than sitting in a freezing cell waiting to die?
I feel like the Hound's the most trustworthy because he's just like so straightforward.
We're all on
It's
the
just
same
like, for
side.
fuck's sakes, man. I just want to do the thing. Whatever we're doing.
How can we be?
all breathing.
Yeah, that does make sense as to why you're all on the same side.
Yeah.
If it's dead versus alive, then...
And for sure you are on the same side. I certainly don't think that...
Now that's a fat crew. Tormund, Gendry, Jon, Jorah, the Hound, Beric, Thoros.
Setting me up for something miserable to happen, baby, because that many great characters all together. I know that there's someone's losing their life. I don't know which one it is, but I know a couple people are. It has to.
Well, Jon and Beric have one thing in common.
Yeah, they came back.
Hey, you never know. They could all die. They could all make it out alive.
You never know, but this show has been giving me some pretty good, has been pretty consistent in fucking me. So
next up is the penultimate. I will say that.
This is a dope ass crew.
Anything can
Menace
happen.
Is that hammer, bro. The hammer's so big.
What a fucking ending. All right. That was Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 5, Eastwatch. If you guys liked what you were watching, make sure you leave a like down below. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. If you want to watch our full-length reaction of this and in the next 6 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. Zay, what are your initial thoughts of the episode?
Really dope episode. Oh, sorry. Oh God. A lot of it's interesting. You have King's Landing where it's very like splintered, or it's like becoming kind of splintered mostly between the characters. I guess it kind of is healing a little bit with Cersei and Jaime, but then when you go to like Dany and all these other interactions, it's like all these people are coming together, like having these dope discussions where they're basically like, don't die. Like you're going on this mission.
You could argue there was definitely maybe it wasn't mental, but there's definitely a physical splinter now that Jon has left with Jorah and whatnot.
I'm talking about relationships and type of stuff. You see a building of these like kind of like everyone like coming together to unite against the common enemy on their side, where it feels like every time you go to King's Landing, you're like, oh, what's the argument going to be? Or what's the drama going to be? Like, it seems like these two are big, So
it's usually between Cersei and Jaime, though. I mean, there's not really many other people.
There's not many others now.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool to see like Dany's side, I guess, because I guess I'm rooting for Dany's side. I'm rooting for Dany and that squad, but yeah.
Well, Jon's not necessarily on Dany's side. I mean, they definitely have a positive relationship, but he still hasn't bent the knee. And according to Dany, that's what you got to do to show.
I didn't say I was necessarily rooting for Jon.
Hey,
for Dany,
okay.
I said Dany's side.
I know. I just figured.
I want them both. I want them both to succeed, but I know only one can kind of really maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we'll have to see. Let's get into the Q&A. First on the list, we kind of had the the aftermath of the, I guess you could say, attack that Dany had on the Lannister men and the Tarleys. And she basically told the soldiers, I'm not here to murder people. I'm not here to, be crazy like, you're queen right now and whatnot. I am here to break the wheel that's been going over the rich and the poor. Basically, the wheel being all these alternating houses just taking control over one over another. It's like, I'm here to stop all that. All you need to do is just bend the knee. A lot of people did, especially after Drogon said, bend the fucking knee. And then Tarly, Father Tarly said, I'm not bending the knee. What is this land to you? You brought a bunch of savages. Like, what is going on here? No way. And Tyrion kept trying to convince him, like, please, okay, but Dany, we can probably bring him to the wall. We can put him in chains. And Dany said, I'm not about chains. It's you're on my side or you're not. And ultimately, she told Drogon Dracarys and burnt the two Tarleys, Sam's father and brother. So what are your thoughts about that whole situation and how that might affect the future of things? Do you think that is fair, what Dany's doing? I mean, she's giving them the opportunity to just stay. It's debatable, sure, but like Varys was saying, maybe she didn't have to burn them alive. There's a lot going on there. What are your thoughts about that whole
Yeah.
situation? Do you think Tyrion is going to be able to, convince her, hey, why don't we add these other options? What are your thoughts about that going forward?
I have mixed feelings about it because I get it. Like I say, it's a funny like situation, right? Because she's like merciful, or she's supposed to be merciful and everything, but she's burning these people alive. Granted, she is giving them the ultimatum of pick my side or die, because she doesn't like chains. But then you would be like, most people are like, well, the more merciful option is chains, right? Just make them serve you, I guess. At least they're alive, not getting burnt alive. And then at the same time, it's war. That, like, at the end of the day, she's in war. You don't really have time to, she's making the tough decision. It's like, if they're not going to serve you, if they're not willing to serve you, and it's going to be impossible for you to, like, that's extra mouths to feed. You got to lug them around. You got to watch them in case people try to like save them, like if they're captured. Yeah. Hey, that's how some people handle war. Is we don't take prisoners. It's either you basically are coming to my side, or I guess you face the fire.
It's a lot nicer. It's a lot nicer than just punishing them for being enemies. You're giving them the opportunity to join your side.
Yeah, like I guess I get it. I get what she's doing. And I understand her standpoint. I understand where Tyrion's standpoint is, where he's trying to be a little bit more on like but it's two separate. They're raised different from different lands. It's just how people handle situations different.
Who do you think? Who do you think's way of handling things will be the final? Like, do you think that Tyrion will be able to convince Dany to maybe alter her way of handling things a bit, or do you think Dany's pretty headstrong about join my side or die?
I think that he could. Here's the thing. I think he could convince her. However, I don't think that it would occur in the position that they're in now. I feel like someone could convince her when she was like, let's say she actually took the throne. Then I don't think it's always going to be like someone steals bread or something and they get caught. She's just going to be like Dracarys. Like now I think it'll be like, I think she changes it a little bit, but I think with her mindset and them being at war, she's just kind of like, listen, I don't got time for bullshit. You picked your side. I gave you a chance. You're on the losing side. So, and she's pretty headstrong with stuff. I mean, Tyrion also is very good with words and being able to talk to people and kind of be like, hey, like, let's maybe look at it a different standpoint. But at the same time, Tyrion, you're 0 for 2 on the last two things you had her do. Her armies got destroyed almost. Like her armies got fucked up when she sent them to Castle Rock, and then when she had and then she had the Dorne and the Dornish army and all them get taken out in the ship.
Right.
So she probably doesn't weigh his opinion as high anymore, too.
That's a fair argument, or a fair point, or a fair thought, I should say. She burned the Sam's family, but Sam did not have a good relationship with his family.
Yeah.
Do you think that Sam is ever going to find out, or do you think that it will remain unknown to him? And what are your thoughts about that whole situation and how that may or may not affect Sam, if it even will? Do you think that this will come into play, or do you think that this is just something that will have happened and Sam won't be aware? I mean, he's not on that side of the family, but of course it's still his family. So it could go either way. What are your thoughts about that situation?
I think he'll find out. I honestly think it would be kind of unfair to not let him know that. Like,
say Jon finds out. Okay. I'm not saying he does or doesn't.
Yeah.
Say Jon finds out. Does Jon tell Sam? Because you have to think about it. If Jon needs Sam and Dany, does Sam agree or disagree with Dany after finding out what happened to his family? I mean, he might not care because he didn't like them, or it was still his family, so he may care. But this is all just me giving you a thought process as to should Jon tell him, or will Jon tell him at all, if you think that might be the way it goes. It might not go that way. I'm just kind of picking your head to see where you think
Jon would. I think Jon would, just kind of out of respect, just to be like he needs to know, man, like his family. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, he doesn't like his family, but yeah, it is still his family. And I think that I think Sam would be sad about it, but I don't know. I wonder if he'll grow kind of to just, I don't know. I wonder
We
if,
might be
like,
diving too deep in the rabbit hole here because I'm asking you ifs on ifs on ifs on ifs, and I'm not.
well, okay, so
guaranteeing
I'll
you
just
anything
answer
either.
like this. I think that John would, out of respect for Sam and being like, he should know that, you know, his father died fighting, and maybe I think maybe Sam wouldn't take it as hard, and maybe he'd understand. It's like, we're at war, like they were at war, and you know, maybe he'll even say, "Is like, yeah, that would be my father. He would refuse to, you know, bend the knee to a foreigner." So maybe, or maybe he gets super emotional and gets upset. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't find out at all. That could be.
Yeah, that's
that
also
could be
the
a
third
dynamic. Next on the list, let's talk about Cersei and Jaime. You know, Jaime comes home and is like, "Look, they got one. I saw one of them, and we got fucked the fuck up." And that's just the dragon. Don't even get me started on the Dothraki.
Dothraki, yeah.
We can't beat them. No men can beat them. They fight as for sport. This is not a war for them. Like, or they're not fighting like they're in war. And Cersei's like, we have no options. We fight or die, or submit and die. And I know what I want to do. And you know, eventually Tyrion came through, and Jaime said, and Jaime told Cersei, they're giving us an option here. And Cersei basically said, all of these things, you know, we'll fight them and we'll defeat them and whatnot. You know, Cersei seems pretty hell-bent on, you know, fighting for her side and doesn't give a shit about anything else. And Jaime is, you know, at least he was kind of like, we can't do this, until he found out that Cersei is pregnant. Now,
yes.
A couple questions here. Do you think that Jaime will, I mean, it seems like he may be back in the real. It doesn't mean that he necessarily is. He could have just been happy in the moment. Do you think that Jaime will, say, come to his senses, or do you think that this has brought him back in onto Cersei's side? And that's one question. And the second question is, do you think she's making it up?
Oh, I never even thought about that. Because and it's interesting that you brought up the making it up part. I'll answer that after. Yeah, I think that it was more. I think that it was more of like a in the moment, like, excitement thing, where he's like, "Oh my god, like we have it," or maybe he is really like that insane to think like, "Well, we have a son, so like we can do this," because they're really at just like such a disadvantage. I think he'll come back to his senses and kind of realize, just from being a military person, like, I know we have a son. I know, like, you want the throne for him, but like, still, like, that doesn't, us having a son doesn't change anything, or a daughter. Sorry, because it's just a baby. Us having a child, or you potentially having a child.
Yeah, if I said son, sorry.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I'm thinking throne, heir to throne immediately.
Sure.
So. Yeah, I think that he'll come to his senses and kind of realize, from a strategy standpoint and from just a military standpoint, like, that doesn't change anything for us. It's not like you just handed me a scroll that we found out we have 10,000 men from this other land coming to come help us, or you found 2 dragons that you were able to tame, so maybe we have a chance. It's like, we're still at a severe disadvantage. We still can't fight these things. The only thing I could say for it, motivating him, is he tries to strategize a better plan on how to protect the siege on King's Landing, or maybe how to outwit Dany and take out a dragon or 2 and just kind of weaken her army and her hold. You know, if Cersei is actually pregnant, it would kind of make sense as to why she's so like hell-bent on like, we can't lose, and like why she's refusing to lose, because that's a pretty good reason, right? You know, she has a baby inside of her. However, if she did make it up, that is a genius tactic for her to try to pull Jaime kind of back onto her side, make him really strategize. She's cynical, man. I think she might be lying. I think she might be lying, bro. She's kind of crazy.
Here's the thing: as cynical as she is, she's also loving towards her children. So it really could be either.
It really is a 50-50. And I know either way. Like, I know if I pick the cynical standpoint, some people might be like, she's not that. Like, they might try to defend her, but man, listen, she's nuts. So don't do that argument with me. I think she might have made it up.
Okay, we'll have to see. Next on the list, I want to talk about Arya and Sansa because we'll kind of get into Jon and the band lastly, because there was a lot of segments to this episode, but I feel like the whole Jon and the band segment was kind of like it was all part of it. You know, it was like there was a Gendry segment and whatnot, but it all came together.
It all looped in. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about Jon and the band last. Let's talk about Arya and Sansa and things that are happening at Winterfell with Baelish. We saw Arya kind of question Sansa, you could say. Not really question, but kind of like, this is mother and father's chambers. You bet you like it up here in these the power chamber, pretty much. Like I see you're kind of letting them bash Jon. That's interesting, Sansa. Well, I think I know what's going on in your head right now. And Sansa's like, how dare you? How dare you? And, you know, an interesting dynamic going on. It doesn't seem like they're all just lovey-dovey-wovey, but it turns out that we also have Arya kind of stalking Baelish and trying to see what he's up to. And something happened with a letter, and Baelish received the letter, put it in his mattress. Arya snuck in, saw the letter. Now, I know what this letter is, and you might have had a chance to know what this letter is if you were able to read it completely.
Is it the...
I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but what do you
think?
Oh,
you wouldn't tell me yes or no?
No,
okay.
I'm going to... It does come up again, so, I mean, obviously it will come up again, so I'll let you...
The only... Because I think I know what it is. I guess
sorry, guys,
I think it's the letter that set off Ned's whole thing to investigating. It was the death of that one. I think it's the letter about the Maybe. The only reason I said that is because I think if I'm not mistaken, Baelish kind of set that whole thing up, and so he wouldn't want that evidence lying around. I could be just totally off the mark. That's the one I'm like in Winterfell. I'm like, what was a very key letter that had come into Winterfell and kind of set off everything, and that was
maybe
huge piece.
And I just want to say sorry, guys, for letting them know that the letter does come up again. I feel like it's pretty obvious that it will, but I shouldn't have said that because you know,
I would have thought I would think it'd be pretty strange for her to sneak into a chamber, find this mysterious letter, she reads it, and then we never get a tie up on it.
Yeah, so, but I still want to apologize to you guys because I shouldn't have said that. I'm pretty good throughout these reactions. I do make a mistake every now and then, but it's not big, like saying that the letter is going to come up again. Yeah. But that's probably one of the biggest mistakes I've made throughout this, you know, reaction watch along with a Zay. So I'll be more careful going forward. We don't have much longer to go. But with that being said, it will be interesting to see what plays out there. But lastly, we saw Baelish actually watching Arya. So did Baelish plant the letter for Arya to come and see, or did Arya find the letter and then Baelish found out that Arya was in there? There are a couple possibilities there. What are your thoughts about that whole situation, and what is Arya or Baelish trying to get at here?
I mean, Arya clearly doesn't trust Baelish, so I think she's trying to see what his plot is and what he's trying to do, and you know what, like, why are you here? Like, yeah, you're helping, and you know, you helped us get Winterfell back. I mean, we know he has a thing for Sansa and all that, and had a thing for Catelyn and everything. I just think that Arya is kind of doing some side due diligence work, trying to be like, what is he really doing here? Like, what's his end game? Because you can't trust most of these people. You really can't trust 99% of the people in this damn show. A lot of people have motives for getting, you know, pushing themselves ahead, and he's one of them. He's one that's chaos is a ladder, and
sure, right.
You know, he's known for being sneaky, and he's known for doing all this devious activity. I felt like it was going to end up being her sneak. When I saw her go into his room and stuff, I was like, I bet you he's like watching. I think that he knew he was being followed. He's pretty careful. He's a very careful guy. So I think that I think part of it was, you know, I think part of it kind of was letting Arya like sneak in just to see letting someone sneak in at least. He's like, I know someone's following me, so I'll lock this in there. I mean, the conversation was relatively loud. They could have went into the room and spoke, and he could have, and they would know, you would have never known there was a scroll in the first place. Like, instead, he has it right there in the openness of his door. You could say, it seems like, oh, he's just being careless, but did he do it intentionally because he knows someone's trailing him?
What do you think?
I think he did it intentionally. I mean,
Okay.
at the end of it, she sneaks in, she sneaks out, and where is he? He's standing there watching, like, so that's who's trailing me. Now he knows it's Arya. So if he didn't know who it was, that's, I mean, I wonder what his game plan is, though. What does he do now? She read the letter, so I'm assuming
Who do you think has the advantage right now? Arya, because she read the letter, or Baelish because he knows Arya's following her?
Baelish because he knows she's following him and he still has it. So it's not like Arya took it. It's smarter. It was smart for her to leave it, and it works out if he doesn't know that. If he doesn't know that she's following him, but because he knows, he could move that letter, he could get rid of it, and then it's like if Arya, let's say they're like, search his room for this scroll, and he's like, see, there's no scroll, or like whatever the case is, or if she tries to convince people like he's plotting something, and where's the evidence, and then there's never any evidence for them to find, Baelish should be like, what are you talking about? Like, he can just play dumb.
Well, we'll have to see how that plays out. Last on the list, let's talk about the band getting together. We get to see Gendry again. We get to see Jorah again meet Dany, but Jon and Dany and Jorah, they kind of went their own ways. Jon with Jorah, and Dany's back at Dragonstone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of spice, Dany said to Jon. We got to see that in the reaction, and we got to see that in the episode while we were reacting to it. And also, we have the Hound involved, the Brotherhood Without Banners. We have Tormund, and their mission is to go beyond the wall, grab a dead soldier, and then bring it back so that they can prove to Cersei that it's real. Try to convince her that, hey, we got to band together here. Now, we did see a dead soldier brought into the wall previously, and there is a magic barrier on the wall that doesn't allow them to pass. So how does that happen? Well, it doesn't ever really confirm it in the show how that's possible, but unless I'm missing something. But there is a theory out there. I agree with the same theory, is that they're not allowed to breach the wall, but if one is brought in by a Night's Watch, then the magic fades. Nobody
right knows. Somehow they have to. Well, either way, somehow
we've
they have
already
to get
seen it happen, so it's
not.
So that one can pass.
We know it's possible.
I'm not saying that they're going to accomplish their journey or not, because they might not be able to, or they might be able to. I'm not going to tell you about that. I'm just trying to explain how that happened in the past, because I know you know that there's magic, and we've also seen one pass the wall before. I could have brought it up at any time. I just forgot about it, and I wanted to bring it up to you now. That's probably why it could pass in the past. So with that being said, do you think that they're going to accomplish their mission? I know you brought up that you think maybe some of them die. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. What are your thoughts about that whole situation? How it's going to play out? And they've got quite a journey ahead of them. So what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would trust that band of brothers right there to accomplish that mission. It's going to be a difficult task, though. How do you get one? Like, how are you going to lure one? Where are you going to find one? Like, there's like a lot of they weren't really too descriptive in the plan. Obviously, the plan's pretty simple. It's we need to bring one back. How they're going to do it, I guess we'll find out more as they get towards that stage of it. Maybe like, do they set some sort of trap? How are they going to lure them away? And like what possibly, how is this going to work? I said it's likely some people die because it just feels like it would be so difficult to you're not only capturing one, but to get everyone back. I just feel like some people might have to end up sacrificing, basically kind of like laying down their life to make sure the rest of the guys can complete the mission to get it back, because that's how important the mission is. Or I think that they're willing to, at the very least. But I don't know how the hell they're gonna do this. I'm like anxious. Like I'm anxious. And then watching them walk off into that, like into the blizzard was just like such a cool shot. And I'm just like, oh my God, like this show just keeps ramping it up every time.
Well, don't really want to talk about it because
no, you should.
No, there's nothing I can really say to you other than we'll have to see. With that being said, thank you guys for being here. If you liked what you're watching, leave a like down below. Subscribe to stay tuned for more if you're not already. And if you want to watch a full-length reaction to this in the next 6 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. Another link in the description is for Zay's Twitch. Zay, I know you have a Twitch.
Yes, I do, guys. Come, feel free to check out the Twitch. I stream Sunday through Friday. Tuesdays and Fridays are with Cam, and possibly a couple of our friends. So come say hi. We play. Well, I'm a variety streamer, so we play a whole bunch of different games, fun games and stuff like that. And yeah, no spoilers for anything that we're watching or any future things that we might be watching. But feel free to drop suggestions in the chat too. If you have ideas for stuff that we could check out, ask us questions, all that type of stuff. And Cam, I know you have a Twitch as well.
Yep, Just Your Average Cam. The link is in the description. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being supporters. We can't wait to get into the next one. The next one is the penultimate episode. What could that be about? I don't know. Who are we going to be covering? It could be anybody, but we'll have to see. With that being said, we'll see you guys on the next one, and peace.